There are many, many things to say about Rosa. Those who knew her, I'm sure, are aware that she was a woman who witnessed and who experienced immense Nazis. She was a victim of the communists. She was in a slave camp in Poland, laying railroad ties. She was in a camp made up exclusively of women who were forming and laying railroad ties. So you can imagine the labor involved in such an endeavor. She met her husband in Germany in a DP camp. She met her husband Paul. They were married there. Again, as many of you know, these DP camps were comprised of parishes, whether they be Orthodox, or Roman Catholic, or Protestant. Then they made their way to the States. As a woman who knew tremendous suffering, Rosa was also a woman of tremendous joy and was, I would say, one of the few people I've met in this life who emanated real light, the light of Christ. She was of that generation that was very exclusive when it came to the church, and she was unlike that generation. She wanted this parish to be open to all people. And certainly you can speak to Lillian about that, and she would more than confirm this aspect of Rosa. She was a person who didn't complain. She was a person who wanted to always help to build up this parish in any way she could. And until recently, she was, I think, 100, 101, and she was going up and down the stairs by herself. And when she was downstairs, she would go to the kitchen and find a broom and begin to sweep the floor. So she was extremely, extremely strong, physically and spiritually. Her suffering, I would dare to say, bolstered her faith, and her faith bolstered her trust and joy in the crucified and risen Christ. Again, many of us now do not realize the horrors Rosa's generation faced. She, along with Zarekis are here, Alina and Vadim, the Lapushinskis are no longer with us. These people experienced just absolute misery. I hope the Zarekis will allow me to say that they, along with Lapushinskis, were also in Nazi slave camps. The Zarekis, Villaroyals, lost an infant brother in the camp by starvation. And the Lapushinskis lost 2 children in the camp because of starvation. So these people, when you saw them and knew the immense burdens they carried, the immense burdens they saw, simultaneously revealed such light and such joy. So as a parish in urban America and Boston, Massachusetts, I would say the foundations of this parish have to be those of joy, joy that relieves true suffering, true misery. That the parish has to be a community of those who receive those who have gone literally through hell and have raised them to heaven. So we are now going to pray for the newly departed Rosa. Let us give thanks for her. Let us give thanks to all those of her generation who witnessed to the death, descent of hell into the descent of Christ into hell, and also his resurrection. Unfortunately, Susan and I have plans to leave this week to visit my brother who's recovering from illness, and I'm not sure we will be here for the funeral, and that's why I wanted to just offer these few words about Rosa Romanowski.